Hi you guys, how are you all? I hope you're doing well. I'm honestly not sure what I'm gonna call this video, what this video really is, but basically I just had a few products that I've been using for a while that I didn't really know how to fit in and how to review, so I thought I would just put them all together in this video and just give little mini reviews on each. Some of them I enjoy, but I feel like they have packaging flaws. Some of them I really didn't like. It's always tricky with products that I don't like because I only talk with you guys once a week, so I want to make sure that I'm getting in all the products that I like. But for products that I don't like, usually just don't mention them unless someone asks about them, and then I'll say like I had a bad experience with them or they just didn't work for me. And as always, a disclaimer with products that don't work for me is it doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you, right? So we all have different skin types, we all have different likes and wants and needs and all that good stuff. So long story short, just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for you. My voice is going in and out today. I think I thought I was over the hump of sickness and then I either caught another virus or I'm still kind of battling the one previously, so that's always fun. So I have some nice hot tea with me. Highly encourage you guys to go grab a cup of tea and let's hop into these products. So the first one is one that I feel like is super hyped up in the clean beauty community, and it's the Josh Rosebrook Nutrient Day Cream. Now I was very excited to purchase this. I bought this obviously with my own money, and it was $50 for 1 fluid ounce of products, which was rather expensive. Now I think it comes in tinted and untinted. I thought I had purchased the untinted, but I guess I must have purchased the tinted because that's what I got. What I was hoping out of this product is that it would be a great kind of everyday sunscreen. And what I can say about it is I really enjoyed the smell of it. I actually didn't feel like I got enough protection from this. I remember I put some down my neck and on my chest and I got a little bit burned. Now obviously like that's dependent on how much you actually wear. Perhaps this is something that I should have worn like a stronger SPF underneath and then this on top of, I'm not sure. But yeah, so I didn't find that it had the amount of sun protection that I really wanted, and like I use my Suntegrity sunscreen obviously almost every day, and I put it on the same areas and I haven't had any trouble with getting burned from it. So this might have just been too light of a formula for me or just like not quite enough. Obviously day dependent as well. But so that was a bit disappointing, and then what was really disappointing was actually the packaging of it. So pretty much within like the second use the packaging broke. I'm not really sure what happened. It pumps, but nothing actually gets like sucked up into the product, so it's really hard to get product out of here. I would have to pump it like a lot of times, then all of a sudden something would click and I would be able to get some out, but even then it wasn't quite enough. And I feel like there's a good amount of product left in here now that it's quote unquote empty, and I have no way of getting it out, which is really frustrating because it was such an expensive product. So I wish I could use this to the last drop, and it also just feels like a little bit wasteful. So for me, this was just kind of a disappointing product. You guys know I really like other products from Josh Rosebrook. I was assuming that this would kind of be the same for me and I would really enjoy it, but I just didn't. I feel like it's way too expensive for the amount of product that you get, and obviously it sort of puts a damper on your experience if you can't even get the product out of the container. So I'd love to know if you guys have had trouble with this packaging or if I'm the only one. But yeah, that was very frustrating. So unfortunately this is not really a product that I'd repurchase again. I think the formula smells great. It feels very lightweight on your skin, so if it works for you, that's awesome, but it just did not work for me, and I wish the packaging had held up a little bit better. Okay, next product is one that I've been using and really loving, and this is the Mermaid Dry Shampoo from Captain Blankenship. I really, really like this. I'm very particular with dry shampoos just because I feel like some dry shampoos are really good and some don't do what they say they're gonna do, and you just end up with like really like a heavy white cast in your hair. Especially, you guys can see I have very dark hair, so I don't like the way that brunette dry shampoos look in my hair because they're a little bit too light, and I obviously have to be very careful with like white or lighter dry shampoos because they'll show up. And this one has worked so well for me. I also really, really like the scent. It's very fresh, and I just feel like it adds a great amount of like volume and texture back into my hair because, you know, as kind of your hair gets like oilier and dirtier, it's sort of like, you know, sticks to the top of your head, so it adds that like nice fresh volume back into it. And I only wash my hair twice a week, so I probably use this like halfway through washes. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do, it just depends. Or like if I'm wearing a particular hairstyle and you can kind of see some of the oil that's building up. But yeah, this is a really great dry shampoo. I just wanted to give it a shout out because I've really been enjoying it, and you get a lot. I have no idea how I'm gonna go through all of this. I'm thinking maybe I'll like buy little containers and give some away to people. But it has that like kind of salt and pepper shaker top to it where you either can turn it and have like a wide open hole, or you have these like little tiny holes so you can just kind of shake it into your hair. And what I do is I just apply it to kind of the roots. I lift up my hair and apply it underneath, and then I let it sit for a minute or two and then just kind of work it through with my fingers, and I find that it is a great dry shampoo, so highly recommend checking this out. Okay, next product is one that I like, but again I have a little gripe with the packaging. This is something I've been using for about a month now. This is the Chia, the Eye Achiever. I heard a lot about this on Instagram. Some of the other bloggers that I follow have talked about this, and they've talked about how great it is. I like the formula. I like what it's doing to my under eyes. I've talked about this before, but I have really sensitive under eyes, so sometimes things either like sting my eyes after I put them on, or I can even get like tiny little bumps in texture from certain eye creams, so I'm really particular. And I liked this because it was an oil and it felt really lightweight on your skin. I'm not a humongous fan of the scent, but that's not, you know, a huge deal because it's in my eye area, and I really like the idea of this packaging, but my issue is it distributes way too much product. So as you can see, there's kind of like a little metal roller ball that's on the top of it. So you just kind of like roll it onto your skin. And I don't know if you can see, but that's a lot of product that just came out with that, and way too much personally for me under my under eye. Your under eye is such a small area and is so delicate. I feel like you just need a little amount of product. You just kind of can dab it all over, but the amount that this distributes is way too much for my under eye, and so I don't really get the benefit of that roller ball because the more that you go back and forth, the more product that distributes. And people are saying, oh, it's great because it kind of is like cooling and feels good on your eye. But I just don't really like how much product comes out with it. So really nice formula, really great product. I like how it feels under my under eye, but what I find myself doing is actually applying it to the back of my hand and then using my finger to kind of tap it around my eye so that I have the perfect amount. Otherwise, it just feels too much, too heavy, and yeah, so I wish the packaging was just a little bit different. I have a lot of oils, I'm realizing that. But the next product is this Herbivore Phoenix oil. And so you can see I haven't used a ton of it, but you only need a little bit. So this is probably about like 2 weeks worth that I used this, maybe a little bit less. And I just used it at night. I used a few drops. And you guys know I really loved their lapis oil, and I was excited to try their Phoenix oil because it has vitamin A in it, and it just sounded like right up my alley, something that I would enjoy. But I actually didn't feel like I noticed as big of a difference in my skin as with the lapis oil. Now this is why it's great that you can buy these in smaller sizes, because you can try them out. There's one other oil as well, and see what works for you. But personally for me, the lapis oil worked a lot better. I just, like I said, didn't really see a benefit from this. I actually didn't really enjoy the way that it made my skin look. Like I think it actually maybe caused a few little breakouts for me. So yeah, I would recommend the lapis oil for myself because that worked best for me. But what I wanted to really say about this again is that I think it's nice that they sell them in smaller sizes so you can try them for less expensive and then figure out which one actually works for you and then buy that one. So like I would repurchase the large lapis oil. I would not repurchase the large Phoenix facial oil. I'm sure it works great for other people, but it just wasn't for me. So the next two products kind of go together. They're at least marketed together, and these are both from the Detox Mode. So this is the Detox Markets brand. This is the Detox Mode Happening Scrub and then the Detox Mode All Together Oil. You can see that I'm pretty much almost out of this, and then I am about halfway through this. One thing that's a little bit misleading about the Happening Scrub is that it's not going to be all the way full when you actually get it. When I got it, it was probably about that full, so just maybe a little bit less, maybe that full. So just know that. I really like the idea of this scrub. I like the way that it smells, and I like the way it feels. I don't know that the formula is all there for me yet, and why I say that is just because the oil in here and the actual granulars that are exfoliating, granulars, is that even a word? I have no idea. Anyway, the actual like beads that are exfoliating, they tend to separate. So when you actually open it and you put it in your hand, you get kind of like a puddle of oil and then the beads, and then you kind of like work it together. But I do this when I'm in the shower, and so my hands are usually a little bit wet, and that kind of emulsifies the product as I'm trying to combine the two, which then I don't get the full benefit once I like go to put it on my legs or my arms or something like that. But what I will say is I really like the way that this makes your body feel, because what it does is it feels like it's conditioning after it exfoliates. So it doesn't feel heavy like a residue, but it just makes your skin feel kind of just like smooth and not even oily, just like smooth. And this is a weird way to describe it, but kind of like filled in. It almost feels like a primer or something, like it's like filling in your pores or something and just making your skin like one smooth surface. Does that make any sense? I'm not sure. But anyway, my main point with this is I really like the idea of it. I like the packaging. I just think that the formula needed maybe a tiny bit more work just to make sure that everything was combined and there wasn't quite as much separation going on in it. As for the Altogether oil, I know that some people really like this and some people don't. I actually really enjoy this oil, and this is one of the few products where I told Jared he's not allowed to use it because I really want to use it, and I really enjoy body oils, and this one just feels like very hydrating. It makes my skin feel really great. It's not super heavy, but it's also not like an immediate drying oil on my skin. Probably depends how much you apply. I think it's really innovative that it's a spray top, but I don't love the packaging. I've had issues with it sort of like leaking oil, and so it can get kind of slippery. Like I said, I really like the spray top, but it doesn't always work, which is kind of frustrating. So sometimes you have to like rearrange it or like keep pressing down on it. It's sort of the same issue that I had with the Josh Rosebrook pump. Maybe it's just me and pumps, I don't know. But this one sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, so that can be kind of frustrating to get it to work. And then I don't know, I didn't even drop the cap or anything, but one day it was cracked. And then ever since that one day where it cracked, it just like completely split in half. So I no longer have a cap to this. The packaging just feels like maybe it could be slightly nicer, and I just wish that the spray worked all the time. But the actual product itself is really nice. I really enjoy it, and like I said, I love the idea of a spray for a body oil. I would definitely repurchase this. The packaging is not like deterring me from repurchasing it, but yeah, I just wish there was like slight improvements with that, but the product itself is really wonderful. Okay, so those were just a few products and a few thoughts that I just wanted to like get off my chest, because I feel like I've been holding on to these products and trying to use them, and I know that sometimes I talk about things in empties videos, but I won't have another empties video for a while, and so I thought I would just get a few thoughts out there. And yeah, if you guys enjoy these sort of mini reviews, let me know. I've also been thinking about maybe instead of favorites videos, sometimes doing like monthly wrap-ups of sort of like the new products that I've tried this month and what I think of them. So let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave some video ideas down in the comments below that you want to see in the future. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this, and I will see you all next week. Bye!